What's the funniest thing you've received in a care package? I got my answer during my second deployment to Afghanistan in 2011. My grandmother had been sending me packages every month, usually filled with the standard stuff: cookies, beef jerky, magazines, socks. But the October package was different, way heavier than normal. I opened it in front of my entire squad at Forward Operating Base Schenck. First layer looked normal: homemade chocolate chip cookies, some candy, a few hunting magazines. But underneath was something wrapped in about 15 layers of bubble wrap and duct tape. My grandmother wasn't taking any chances with whatever this mysterious item was. I unwrapped it slowly while the guys gathered around like kids on Christmas morning. Finally got to the center and pulled out a full-size ceramic garden gnome, bright red pointed hat, blue jacket, tiny fishing pole in his hands. A card taped to his head read, "This is Gerald. He's your battle buddy now." The entire tent erupted in laughter, but it got so much better. My grandmother had included a 3-page typed letter explaining Gerald's mission in detail. Apparently, she'd been watching too much news about soldiers getting PTSD and decided I needed a friendly face to keep me company. The letter had detailed instructions for Gerald's care and deployment. He needed to be positioned where he could keep watch over our area. She'd researched military tactics online and determined that a garden gnome would provide excellent camouflage in desert environments. My squad leader, Sergeant Williams, walked over to see what all the commotion was about, took one look at Gerald and just shook his head. "Well, I've seen guys bring teddy bears and family photos, but this is definitely a first." "What's his rank?" Without missing a beat, I said, "He's a specialist. Specializes in morale and perimeter security." Williams actually cracked a smile. "Fair enough. Find him a good position." So we did. Set Gerald up on a sandbag wall next to our bunker, facing out toward the perimeter. Within hours, other soldiers were stopping by to meet him. Word spread fast around the FOB. The best part came 2 weeks later when my grandmother's follow-up package arrived. She'd apparently coordinated with my mom, my sister, and 3 aunts. Gerald was getting a complete military makeover. My mom sent a tiny Kevlar helmet that actually fit his head perfectly. My sister shipped a miniature flak jacket. My aunt Lisa contributed military patches to put on Gerald's jacket. Even my uncle Dave, a Vietnam vet, sent jump wings and a purple heart pin. Gerald became the unofficial mascot of our entire platoon. Guys would pose for pictures with him before going out on patrol. New soldiers had to be formally introduced to Gerald as part of their orientation. The base photographer even included him in our official unit photos. The absolute peak came during a surprise inspection by visiting brass. This full bird colonel walks into our area, stops dead in his tracks when he sees Gerald in full military gear standing guard duty. Doesn't say anything for about 30 seconds, just stares. Finally asks, "Soldier, why is there a garden gnome in combat gear at your fighting position?" My squad leader, completely serious, responds, "Sir, that's Specialist Gerald. He's assigned to morale operations and perimeter observation." His grandmother sent documentation confirming his deployment status. The colonel actually read the letter, all 3 pages of Gerald's official mission briefing. Started chuckling halfway through. By the end, he was laughing so hard he had to sit down on a sandbag. "This is the most creative morale booster I've seen in 25 years of service," he said. "Gerald's doing important work here. Carry on." Gerald deployed with us for the full 15 months, never missed a day of duty, survived 2 mortar attacks and a sandstorm that lasted 4 days. When we rotated home, there was serious discussion about Gerald's next assignment. My grandmother solved the problem by ordering 6 more gnomes, 1 for each guy in my squad. "Gerald's trained them well," her letter explained. "They're ready for independent operations. Those gnomes are now scattered across military bases worldwide." Gerald Jr. just finished a tour in Syria. Gerald III is currently stationed in South Korea, apparently learning local customs and language. At my grandmother's funeral last year, 6 active duty soldiers showed up in dress blues, each carrying a garden gnome. We buried her with Gerald Sr., who'd earned an honorable retirement after completing his service. The funeral director had never seen military honors that included garden gnomes, but my grandmother would have loved every minute of it. Sometimes the best care packages contain exactly what you need, even when you don't know you need it. Gerald's memorial plaque sits on my mantle now, right next to my deployment medals. Specialist Gerald, KIA. Killed in action by old age, 2020. Distinguished service in morale operations.